Hello and welcome to the TSR Legal Podcast. I'm your host, James Salt, legal consultant here at TSR Legal. Today I'm joined with someone who has played a leading part in bringing the West Wales Junior Lawyers Division back to life, Sarah Jane Lewis. Sarah Jane has become a recognisable figure in the West Wales legal community, but the journey actually began up in Liverpool before making it down West Wales to build a career here. Since then, she's become a driving force of the Junior Lawyers Division in the region and is one of the key people at the JLD. In today's episode, we're going to talk a bit more about this relaunch and how it came to be, where the vision for it started and what it means for junior lawyers locally, and of course a bit about Sarah Jane herself, her journey, her motivations, and why this initiative means so much to her and the team. We've got a great set of questions to guide the conversation, but really our aim is to explore the story behind the relaunch and what it represents for West Wales and what's next for the division. On to you, Sarah Jane. How about you?
Hi, thanks for having me. This is exciting. I'm Sarah Jane Lewis. I'm a costs consultant at Peak Legal Costs. And as you can tell from the accent, I'm definitely not from Wales. But yeah, I moved to West Wales around 4 years ago. And yeah, that's where my journey started with yeah, the West Wales Junior Lawyers Division.
Just after COVID, that must have been quite a baffling time to be relocating as well.
Yeah.
How did you find that? How was the move to come to West Wales?
I mean, we'd all been stuck in our houses for so long. I think it was exciting at the time to like do something. But at the same time, it was an adjustment in terms of just it was hard. No, I don't think we got over. We're still getting over COVID, I think. So yeah, it was a big adjustment in terms of culture and different people, humor as well. But yeah.
I myself moved to Wales, having come from a different area. Actually, started in London, and I always found that the Welsh are very friendly as a
Yeah.
people, and that's one of the biggest things I got used to as well. So obviously, the person behind the role. So you're one of the key people behind the relaunching of the West Wales Junior Lawyers Division. What originally inspired you to getting involved and ultimately champion junior lawyers in the region?
I think when I moved here, I'd gone from working in an office every day, being surrounded by lots of people, to moving to a rural area where I was working from home. Um, and I was looking for like networking opportunities online to see if there was any like local events, and I couldn't find anything at all. So yeah, I was thinking, oh, there is a lack of support and networking opportunities. And if I'm feeling like that, other people must be feeling like that, especially after COVID as well. Like everyone wanted to get back out, and yeah, just it was. I think that support network is so important, especially for junior lawyers. So yeah, I reached out to the Law Society and said basically, there's no support network here. And they said there is a junior lawyers division, and to pointed me in the right direction to speak to them. So from there, I spoke to them and they said, why don't you go for it? Why don't you set up one in West Wales? So that was in June. So yeah,
In June, so sudden as well. It must have
yeah.
been quite a daunting prospect to be getting involved with the junior lawyers division after just moving as well. How did you approach that? How did you approach that entire process?
I was naturally worried because I'm not from Wales, so I didn't want I wanted to understand the Welsh community, but I had taken some time to get to know everyone in Wales, and yeah, it was a bit daunting at first, but everyone's so, like you said before, so lovely and friendly that there ended up being a lot more junior lawyers in the area than I even realised myself. So yeah, we got a 10-person committee now from multiple different firms, which is amazing for a rural area. Um, and the vice chair, Lisa Evans, she's been a key part in helping me initially to get the ball rolling and everything. But yeah, I couldn't do it without them. So I wouldn't say it's me. I couldn't do it without the committee, to be honest.
That's a group effort, absolutely. And that's what I saw when we attended the relaunch. It was such a
Yeah.
successful relaunch, and really seeing the ambition of everyone that was there. It was really, really interesting. So, I mean, tell us a bit about your kind of journey into law and what kind of shaped those early experiences as a junior lawyer that actually led you to this point today.
So I left school in 2015, and my home life wasn't very stable. And I just knew I have to fend for myself. I was like, I need a job and I need a job now. I need to earn some money. So my story might be a little bit different to the traditional route of going to university, but I got an apprenticeship at a law firm in Southport, which is near Liverpool. And I ended up in the in-house cost department. And from there, I just worked my way up, and I've never looked back. And it's the best thing that ever happened to me. And I'm now about to take my final exams for the cost lawyer professional qualification, and that's 10 years on. But I'm a girl who didn't go to university, so I never thought that would be possible. I never thought I'd be able to become a lawyer without going to university and things. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
Yeah, I think it's something to be proud of because, you've let that become one of the biggest things that shaped you. And now look at you,
Yeah.
it's only up from here, isn't it? Um, and what part of your kind of role within the junior lawyers division do you think that people don't realize goes on behind the scenes? Coming from the background that you have, building up how you have, what would you say is something people don't realize that goes on in the junior?
There's so much. We're all volunteers and we've all got jobs. A lot of the committee members are taking final SQE exams. They're all juggling a million things. There's a lot of admin. It's there's a lot of hours in meetings and discussing how best to benefit West Wales. And we might not come up with a plan within the first meeting. It might take multiple meetings to make sure we're getting it right. So a lot of hours of our own free time, a lot of admin. It's been like setting up a business from scratch. um,
I bet.
yeah, none of us knew what we were doing, and there's contracts that we had to sort. There's constitutions. There's liaison with different firms. So there's a lot of hard work that goes behind the scenes, but we all do it because we all have the same motive and ambition. So yeah.
I'm glad you said that because for anyone who's listening who isn't familiar, how would you describe what the JLD actually does and why it really matters for West Wales?
So the junior lawyers division basically provides that networking and support opportunities. I should say support first because when we say junior, we don't mean in terms of age. It's to do with the early stages of your career. So we're there to help each other, bounce questions off each other, yeah, and just support each other going through similar experiences. In turn, we develop connections, and that has a knock-on effect down the line to for career opportunities and development. So it's all about support and having that network, especially in law when it can be very stressful. So yeah.
I mean, the profession is stressful, isn't it? So having
Yeah.
that sense of community, I can imagine really helps. And I imagine it helped you, as you
Yeah,
launched it and it
definitely.
moved so quickly, didn't it?
Yeah.
Faster than anyone anticipated. Um, and what does the relaunch really mean for the junior lawyers across West Wales now. Now that this is a thing, you've relaunched. What does it really mean for them?
Well, that's it. It's the start of something very exciting, in my opinion. Um, Obviously I'm biased because like, yeah, but yeah, no, it's exciting opportunity because it's putting the word out there. Like we're here and we're ready to create something really special, not just for junior lawyers or lawyers in their early stages, but for other firms as well. Like it's not just for the lawyers, it's for the firms to help find them lawyers or expand. Yeah, so
I think you're completely right. I think the junior lawyers, people coming through the pipeline, I think a lot of firms don't know where they're coming from and where they can find them. So you've actually created an option for those firms to really home grow really, really good talent in the west of Wales, which I think a lot of firms don't even think about. But how has the response been? Since June, as you mentioned, how's the response been to
it's
having the junior
been
lawyer position?
amazing. I think I said to you before on a call, I said I didn't expect, as I thought it'd be a year or two before we got a response like this. So it's been amazing. I couldn't ask for better. People are so supportive, and that has a knock-on effect because um, when you're surrounding yourself with ambitious and motivating people, it just makes you want to be more motivated. So yeah, the response has been incredible from both firms who have sponsored us, including yourselves, which has been amazing. Um, and yeah, we've had a good, strong start, I think.
Okay. I mean, even now, I've heard words gone out, and people I speak to on the day to day know of yourselves. So word is really getting out there. What are
Amazing.
the? I suppose it would be good to ask, especially with those listening. What are the biggest issues that you are finding that junior lawyers in the region are facing right now?
I think definitely networking opportunities. There's a lot of smaller firms in West Wales, as opposed to in the city where you've got bigger commercial firms. But so I'd say definitely in networking opportunities, and people are feeling like they have to move to get them same opportunities, which isn't necessarily the case. I think, the firms that I've spoke with and met, the small firms in West Wales and some of the bigger ones, they're amazing, but it's about getting the word out there and creating those opportunities. So I'd say networking is definitely a big yeah,
One of the biggest
factor.
challenges, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
and ultimately we help facilitate sometimes those moves, and we have so many clients in your region, as you said, that have really good high quality work coming from regions you wouldn't expect. So there's really those opportunities, and that's why we're excited to be involved with yourselves, because I think you're really changing what the mindset is in in
Mm.
in the west of Wales, which is a really really good thing. And then with that, what are you hoping for the JLD to achieve in the next 12 months? Coming on to the new year, baffling how we're
Yeah,
here
I
already.
know. Where's the time gone? Um,
Yeah.
oh, we've got so much in the pipeline. So we are hosting a diversity and inclusion event early in the new year. We're going to be doing a webinar with another provider who is offering a scholarship, which is incredible. Um, so there are a couple of things in the pipeline, but what we aim to achieve is to expand our members, get the message out there, and hopefully, yeah, it's support each other and just make life easier for the lawyers in the local area.
And getting to know each other, I
Yeah.
think one of the things I found really inspiring is that lawyers know lawyers. It's one of the things
Mm.
that we know. And this is where it starts. So exactly what you're doing, this is where it starts. And you get to make those connections, and you maybe you see them on the other side in the future. But
Yeah.
I think as an industry, I find that it's very tight knit, and especially in Wales. especially.
I think that makes sorry
Yeah, no,
Wales really unique though as well because um everyone is very tight knit and reputation here is so important because of how tight knit we are. So giving people the opportunities to create them relationships with people is so important for people's career down the line.
absolutely. And I think we've already started seeing the benefit of that. I'm just looking back at the relaunch and the conversations I had with people there. The firms, and hopefully some firms are listening to this podcast. They had an opportunity to speak to people on the ground and really get the thought of that junior market, people coming through the pipeline, who will ultimately be the lawyers that they would want to hire in the future. So
Oh yeah.
it's a good opportunity to see it from both angles as well. So what areas do you think that most opportunities right now are for lawyers, and especially the junior lawyers in the market?
I would say property, law, commercial law, and family law. Especially like you said, it's a tight knit area. There's a lot of yeah, definitely community elements to things. So property, I would say, is a big area, and yeah,
Especially in
family
Wales.
law.
Yeah. And I think you're completely right. I think we see that from a recruitment standpoint. We see that personal law has really, really gotten busy. Right now, as an example, there's family roles everywhere. I've got family
Yeah,
roles everywhere. Do you feel that junior lawyers face different pressures compared to those in, say, Cardiff or Bristol, here in the West Wales, for example?
definitely. I think the main issue may be salary as well. Um, with larger cities might be able to offer higher salary range than rural areas. So I think that is a factor in it. And yeah, and again that networking and having that support network around them.
I'm glad you asked that because what do you think firms could do to attract and retain junior talent in the region where salary maybe can't be matched as some of the bigger firms in, say, Cardiff or Bristol? What do you think?
I think flexibility is a key um, part. People need flexibility nowadays. Life's just busy. It's so busy for everyone. Um, so maybe offering more hybrid roles. I also think investing in new technology to make life easier for those lawyers, and yeah, maybe where salary isn't an option, more incentives to for other things. So yeah, just looking at how their life is, because everyone has a life outside of work, and um,
You'd
even though
hope, yeah.
yeah, even though we spend the majority of our life working, it needs to be as less stressful as possible, in my opinion. So definitely flexibility.
And that's obviously what you're hearing from the ground. I think I hear the same. Where the further west you go, the less hybrid working options you find. And I speak to clients every day, Sarah Jane, and it's hybrid working isn't a benefit anymore. It's an expectation. And the firms that don't have that as an option are the ones that are missing out to people that, if I have to work 5 days in the office, I might as well relocate to Cardiff, or Bristol and get a better salary for the time that I'm in the office. So you've hit the nail on the head there. I think that's definitely something that I hear from the junior market, and I'm glad that the junior lawyer division sees the same. I mean, what trends do you see emerging for junior lawyers? Say over the next couple of years.
Um, AI, definitely AI. Um, that's a big factor. One that even though I didn't like it myself, we can't avoid it. I don't think. I think yeah, that's technology and AI is going to be a huge factor. But I also think it's going to be a huge blessing in terms of making administrative duties easier. Um, like I said about flexible working, more people will expect to be um, flexible and hybrid. And also, yeah, just development opportunities as well.
Yeah. I think, throwing that back to you. So one of the things I read about is the junior lawyer market being being taken out, I suppose, by AI. um, and what that will mean for their future careers and people coming, say 3-4 years down the line, people
Yeah.
that would be part of your division, what do you think would happen to them with the AI revolution?
I mean, you can never ever replace human interaction. That's just not going to be possible, no matter how much um, AI use its like empathy and everything else. So AI isn't going to replace picking up the phone and being empathetic to someone who's dealing with a trust or something's going on in a family dispute. So I don't think it will ever replace things like that. Um, yeah,
It makes
personally.
admin easier.
Yeah, definitely.
Which I think we've needed for a long time. Absolutely. I remember my days as paralegal, and good Lord, the admin was non-stop. So no, I appreciate that, and the candid response. I mean, what support structures do you think that junior lawyers need in today's legal world? We talk about AI and that being, potentially a support structure in a way. Are there any other structures that you think could be needed for junior lawyers in today's world?
I definitely think mental health is a key element. I think supporting people's mental health whilst working, especially in law. You can read some negative cases, and it can really get you down. And I think making sure that lawyers are supported um, with regular check-ins, maybe mental health discussions, and making it less of a taboo to talk about. Like, I think it's important to say how you feel and be able to feel like you can say how you feel as well.
I mean, the firms listening to this, do you think for junior lawyers in West Wales, that would be a massive, massive draw? If they're trying to, attract candidates, is that something that
Definitely.
would appeal to your
Yeah,
market?
I personally think so, because if you can feel free to speak and feel free to speak up and um understood, it plays a huge role in where you stay, because you feel heard, you feel yeah, like you matter in that firm. And I think a lot of people move because they might not feel like they're valued. And I think making sure that you show that your staff and your team are valued is a huge aspect in keeping your team together.
Absolutely. And I think part of your reason for looking to relaunch the West Wales Junior Lawyers Division was that isolation. How important do you think networking is for junior lawyers starting out, especially in the smaller legal community?
Oh, it's huge. Yeah, it's massive. Even those who struggle with networking have said it's just good to know that there's someone there to speak to. So it's when you have networking, some people can be like, "Whoa, like I don't want to be walking around the room and talking to everyone. Like, that's not me." But whereas me, on the other hand, I can talk for hours. So it's
Same.
yeah. But yeah, the ones who have reached out to us and said, just sitting there listening and just having someone to chat to is really helped me. So I think it's bigger than we think.
No, I agree. And, it's slightly off script now. Is it purely in person, or do you do any sort of online kind of networking, community events, or just catch-ups with everyone in the junior lawyers division?
So we're going to be doing the diversity and inclusion event online. So that will include guest speakers as well. So um, there's no pressure then to have them to travel or put your camera on. But it's just you can just listen. So we've got that, and then we are talking with a training centre who have also offered to do a webinar. So that's just two in the new year, and then there will be in person as well. So there'll be a mixture. Yeah.
It's a nice mixture. And it's funny we say this, West Wales being almost a bit of a smaller community, but it is also widely spread. So
Mm.
the in-person events, having that online option is really handy. The conversation around well-being is bigger than ever these days. And, we touched a bit on that. How do you think that junior lawyers can, I suppose, ultimately defend themselves early in their careers from your experience or some of your peers in your team?
I think setting boundaries early on. Um, it's better to set boundaries early than have to deal with them later on down the line, in my opinion. So I think, yeah, setting your boundaries and speaking up. For years, I felt like, believe it or not, but for years I felt like anxious every time I spoke up, and that speaking up was wrong. But it actually creates self-respect and it helps with them boundaries as well, and with mental health.
Absolutely. And you talk about self-respect, but I think it also earns the respect of the people that you're obviously speaking up and putting those boundaries in place. I mean, we make the joke that litigators inherently have the skill of,
Yeah.
of standing their own ground and being able to do that. But I think everyone can improve that. Me personally as well, and it's definitely something that I can envision being quite important early in your career as a
Yeah.
as a solicitor or lawyer. Do you think that firms are improving in terms of the flexibility of hybrid working expectation in the West of Wales from what you've seen?
um for me, it's difficult because I haven't worked for a firm in West Wales, but members of the committee, there are a couple of members who have got that flexibility approach. So I think there is opportunities out there, and I think as time goes on, it will only get better in that aspect.
I think I think you're right as well from what I've seen. I mean, if you could give one piece of advice for the junior lawyers or the trainees or the NQs listening today, what would that be?
So somebody once told me, "Don't lose that fire in your belly," and I didn't fully understand it back then, but it's been the best piece of advice I've ever received. I think sometimes being ambitious can be frowned upon as being too much or being too intense, and I just think just don't dim your light, and yeah, just keep that fire in your belly, and yeah, just be yourself, and yeah.
I love that. I think you need that in a stressful career route. That is thoroughly enjoyable, but you're going to have good and bad days, isn't it? So, I see why that would be beneficial. I mean, where do you want to see West Wales Junior Lawyers Division in the next 2 years? Any plans? Is there goals set?
I I'd love to be able to. I never, ever, ever want to step away from the junior lawyers division. That's not even an option in my mind. But if I was to take a step back, I'd love to just see it carry on and run and benefit the next generation and the next generation after that. Um, and impact firms around us, impact them in a positive way. Um, and creating, yeah, that space for junior lawyers to just thrive, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what inspires you or excites you about the future of the legal community in West Wales? With that in mind, is there changes you're seeing, anything that excites you?
Yeah, I think there's a unique opportunity here because it's a hidden gem in my opinion. I think West Wales has got some amazing talent. The members of our committee are some of the most amazing people I've ever met. So knowledgeable, and yeah, I think that excites me because there's more of them, and we just need to find them and bring them all together. So yeah, I think I'm super excited about what's to come because um yeah, there's a gap in the market here, I would say.
Yeah, no, I agree. And if you could fix one of the challenges facing the junior lawyers today, be it SQE qualifiers or anything like that, with a magic wand, I mean, what would that be? Yeah,
I would say removing that fear. So when I say removing fear, I mean removing the fear of asking questions, speaking up, making mistakes, because that's how you learn and that's how you grow. So yeah, taking away that yeah, fear, if that makes sense.
absolutely. Yeah, there's an anxiety. I remember my uni days, everyone but me was scared to put their hand up and ask a question because there's almost
Mm,
fear of embarrassment or making a mistake. And, I completely agree. You know, you don't learn if you don't ask the questions, if you don't make the mistakes.
yeah, and I've made so many mistakes over my career, but I've always learned from them, and it's made me better. So yeah,
Yeah. I think that's why you've got supervisors, isn't it, at the end of the day?
yeah,
You're there to be mentored. And no one's and I think maybe this is for any of the NQs listening or the people training. No one expects you to be perfect at the job when you're an NQ or a trainee. It's not the expectation. They just want you to learn. They want you to push. And I don't know if you've seen that, Sarah. Correct me if I'm wrong. But that's
yeah,
from firm's perspective. Yeah.
yeah. No, definitely. I'd be lost without my mentor and my team leader because you can just bounce off them, and yeah, you do need that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, if mentorship is something you feel very strongly about, because I speak to some juniors who just don't have that structure, someone that they feel is a mentor. Do you think that's really important?
Yeah, so I got a mentor over a year ago. Um, Rebecca, she's amazing. Through something called the Women in Costs. And it literally within 6 months changed how I held myself, how I dealt with certain situations, because I was able to unapologetically go to her and just go, ugh, this is how I'm feeling. What do I do? And having someone to just navigate them feelings with, and see another side to how they deal with it benefited me massively. I really am a different person since having a mentor. I think, yeah, I've learned how to walk before I can run. um, so yeah, I think having a mentor is huge. Yeah, I would encourage any firm to have a mentoring system.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think even the junior lawyers division, I think those who are missing that could fill in that gap to some extent. That sense of community and learning of other people and just being able to speak to people. That's at least from what I've heard is the value beyond what you've even set out to do. I think people are finding.
No, definitely, yeah. And we were just talking the other day about arranging like a lunch together, and just like meeting up and just, yeah, having some food together, and it's like friendships are formed as well, which you need.
Absolutely. And completely off topic. I mean, if you weren't a lawyer, what would you be doing? What do you think you'd be doing?
So so I would say probably something to do with property, because yeah, I yeah, understand how important it is for someone to have a home. Um and when I say that, I just mean that based on like my own background. But I'd say probably like real estate. or something in that area. Although when I was growing up, I really wanted to be a dolphin trainer for some weird reason. So I don't know. Who knows?
Dolphin trainer. That's a new one for me, I'll be honest. But well, no, thank you for everyone that's listened to the podcast today. Stay tuned for further episodes and with the West Wales Junior Lawyers division. And no, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.